Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. Greyhawk is one of the oldest published campaigns that's out, second only to Blackmoor. Greyhawk's also one of my favorite campaigns, and I've spent a lot of time playing Greyhawk. So in this video we're going to look at the setting for Greyhawk for 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons with the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. This book has 192 pages and a copyright of 2000. It was published by Wizards of the Coast, and all of the artwork in this book, minus the full color map it comes with, is in black and white. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white, and it's fairly decent as well. There are some pretty good action scenes throughout the book. I have included a picture of Use the Old because, well, he's Use the Old. To use this book, what you're going to need is a copy of this book and the core rule books for either 3rd edition or 3.5, whichever you prefer. You'll also need a full set of dice, which contains a 20-sided die, a 12-sided die, preferably 2 10-sided dice for rolling both percentiles and tens, an 8-sided die, a 6-sided die, and a 4-sided die. Greyhawk takes place on a planet called Orth, and most of the campaign setting takes place on a continent called the Flannis. And there are many different countries and kingdoms in the Flannis, and there's a lot of detail for this campaign setting over the years. This book gives you a rundown of the history of Greyhawk, different wars that have been fought and everything. This campaign setting starts in the year of peace, which there really isn't much peace with all the war going on, which is alright. Gives you something to do. There is a laydown of how certain races fit into this campaign setting and the different races of humans that you'll find depending on where they're from. And Greyhawk itself is the main city in the campaign setting. It's usually called the Jewel of the Flannis. But you don't have to ever go to Greyhawk when playing in this campaign setting. You can play an entire campaign with this campaign setting and never once go to Greyhawk. But Greyhawk is a big city, very popular city. Chances are you probably will go there at some point. The Greyhawk setting was pretty much the main setting for 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons. The gods that are used in the Player's Handbook are all from Greyhawk. This book does have a chapter devoted to the gods, and it goes over the ones that are found in the Player's Guide, but it also gives the other ones for the campaign setting that the Player's Guide doesn't cover, and it's in pretty decent detail, which is cool. It gives you a rundown of the different continents and countries that you could find in Greyhawk. It has a chapter devoted to different types of locations, such as different forests and their names, hills, mountains, and other things that you might want to visit and explore. In the very back of the book, it has a map of the Flannis, and it's made to come detached, but I've never detached. I've always kept it as part of the book. But it's in full color and gives you a good look at the Flannis, the places you can visit. The back of the book also contains some special information. This book was put out to do something special. They wanted a campaign setting that everybody playing Dungeons and Dragons could be a part of, mold and shape the world. So they got together with the RPGA, and the Living Greyhawk is that setting. And it's got rules and guidelines on how to make up your character for the setting in the back, if you were going to be part of their thing, which I was never really interested in, so I never took part. But you would run typical, simple campaign adventures, dungeon crawls and stuff, and then they would release information on events going on, and your characters, depending on what region they were from, would participate and be able to shape and mold the events of what was going on. It's even got a code in here to tell you what region of the Flanders you would be from, depending on where you lived in the United States. And there's not much in the way of new rules for Dungeons & Dragons, like campaign-specific things, such as prestige classes that are focused in this campaign setting, or races specific to this campaign setting, or even classes or anything. So if you're looking for add-ons to the Dungeons & Dragons rules, you're going to be sorely upset. But if you just want a really good description of the campaign setting, locations, history, and so forth, this is a very good book to have. Which brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this campaign setting? Absolutely. I've played in Greyhawk more than any other campaign setting, and I'm quite happy with it. Would I run this campaign setting? Again, absolutely. I've run it more than any other campaign setting. Would I recommend this book for you? And again, as long as you're not looking for add-ons to the core Dungeons & Dragons rules, this is a good book to have. Lots of information and details on the campaign setting. Don't know if I would have joined the big online thing, but anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say for the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. Thank you for joining me at a look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.